Hey everyone, and welcome. Let's just jump right into it. Today, we're looking at something that honestly touches every single one of us. We're talking about cultivating resilience for overcoming adversity. The fact that you're tuning into this explainer right now tells me that you're probably looking for some clarity, maybe some structure, or actual tools to navigate life's hurdles. Because let's be real, adversity isn't just a maybe, it's an absolute guarantee, right? It's gonna happen. But how we respond to those inevitable hurdles, well, that is where the real magic happens. And that's exactly what we're going to decode today. Now, before we even look at our source material for today, I want you to just sit with a pretty critical question. How do we handle challenging situations? Actually, take a mental pause right now. Seriously, reflect on your own personal approach to those difficult, totally unexpected moments we all run into. Like when you get that email with bad news, or a project you've poured your heart into just fails, or when life simply throws a massive curveball at you. What's your immediate reaction? Do you freeze up? Do you panic or retreat? Or do you immediately jump straight into problem-solving mode? Look, there's absolutely no right or wrong answer here, just honest observation. We really have to understand our current baseline, our default settings, before we can start building a stronger, more effective architecture for our reactions. All right, so today we're examining a highly concentrated piece of source text. It's literally just a single sentence, but it perfectly captures the mechanics of resilience. The source states, why? Developing resilient skills can improve one's ability to handle challenging situations and bounce back from setbacks. Now, on the surface, okay, that might just sound like pretty straightforward advice, but we're going to deeply deconstruct this statement to uncover its core meaning, because hidden right inside these 20 words is an incredibly clear, step-by-step framework for managing adversity. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is phase 1, cultivating resilience. Notice how our source explicitly frames resilience as skills that need to be developed. This means it's an active process. Think of it in an agricultural sense. You're preparing the ground, planting the seeds, and doing that deliberate daily work of tending to the field long before the storm ever actually hits. This completely shatters the myth that resilience is just some fixed personality trait or, a genetic lottery where some people are just naturally tough and the rest of us aren't. No way. Resilience is a toolbox. It's a set of active tools and practices that you can learn, implement, and refine over time. You absolutely have the agency to improve your own capacity to handle life's friction. Now, moving on to phase 2, facing the setback. Because, these skills don't just exist in a vacuum. They're forged in the real world. Challenging situations, setbacks. Let those words sink in. These are heavy, impactful realities. And recognizing the distinct nature of these struggles is absolutely crucial for applying the right tools. A challenging situation kind of implies an ongoing struggle, right? A prolonged period of difficulty where your resources and stamina are constantly being tested. A setback, on the other hand, implies a sudden reversal of progress, like you were moving forward and bam, suddenly you're abruptly pushed backward. This is the gravity of life. The source acknowledges that no matter how much you prepare, this necessary friction is coming. Without it, well, our resilient skills would just remain purely theoretical. But here's the thing, we don't stay down. Let's look at phase 3, bouncing back. And this brilliantly illustrates the dynamic equilibrium in our source text. On one hand, we have the downward force of challenging situations and setbacks. That's the fall. But on the other hand, we have the upward trajectory of improving our ability and bouncing back. That is the rise. The text deliberately uses this active, energetic phrasing. We don't just endure or merely survive the initial impact of adversity. We use that kinetic energy to adapt and propel ourselves upward. The friction between these two opposing forces is basically the absolute essence of the human experience. It's an equation where the universe presents the problem and we systematically generate the solution from within ourselves. Which brings us to phase 4, the power of why. Let's move to this breakdown and see how this all builds. Our excerpt actually begins with a capitalized why. That's the fundamental engine driving us to do the hard work of self-improvement. And as you can see, the source sentence isn't just a static statement. It's an active, chronological map for recovery. Step 1 is the trigger, handling a challenging situation. Step 2 is the work, leaning into our resilient skills and intentionally developing them. And finally, step 3 is the resolution, bouncing back from the setback. Our text has literally given us a blueprint for navigating adversity, distilled into a remarkably clear progression. So what does this all mean for you right now? I want to leave you with a direct challenge. What setbacks will you bounce back from by developing your resilient skills today? We've taken a single, concise sentence and deeply deconstructed the whole architecture of resilience. Now it's time for you to take this framework off the screen and apply it directly to your current real-world hurdles. You have the capacity to cultivate these tools. You have the elasticity to bounce back, for sure. The only question left is, where will you start applying your resilience today? Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and I can't wait to explore our next topic with you soon.